Well, welcome to my Italian kitchen. Today, we are going to make homemade braciole with gravy. That's really spaghetti sauce, but we Italians call our spaghetti sauce gravy. Let me turn off the music and get started. There we go. There we go. So, as I was saying, I'm going to show you how to make homemade braciole. Braciole is a rolled beef, a rolled meat. I'm going to use flat meat. But you can use like sandwich steak or London broil or any meat that you can pound out real thin. And I'm going to make it the way I can remember my mother making it, where she would combine Italian breadcrumbs and eggs and Parmesan cheese, chopped fresh parsley, garlic, salt and pepper, and you just mix that up into like a little stuffing. You add a little milk to keep it moist, and let me show you what that looks like. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's just a mixture of, like I said, this isn't a video on exact recipe, ingredient, measurement, or preciseness. This was about a cup of breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs. Okay, see that? About, I don't know, a quarter, a third a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, shaved Parmesan cheese, some nice fresh chopped parsley, and salt and pepper, 1 egg, maybe 1/8 of a cup of milk just to bring it all together and make it moist, salt and pepper, and 1 clove of fresh garlic smashed and added to the mixture. So I'm going to show you how to roll them up and stuff them. I'm also using prosciutto and some fresh mozzarella pearls. They come in water, and I've never done it with these before, but I'm going to give it today. I'm going to put that on top before I roll them up over the stuffing. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and this is just another perfect video to show you that you can use things on hand if you don't have everything that the recipe requires or the tools needed. For instance, kitchen twine is really ideal for tying the meat rolls together so they hold together while they brown, and then they're going to cook in the gravy. But I didn't have any, and I ran out to the dollar store and they didn't have any. But what I do have on hand is some cheesecloth. Just kitchen cheesecloth, and I've cut them in pieces, and I'm just going to roll the braciole up in the cheesecloth. And I've already done a couple of them, so let me show you what I'm talking about, if you can see that. And I just rolled it up and tied them at the end, and I'm hoping that the cheesecloth does not fall apart because it is rather thin, so this is really an experiment. I don't have enough cheesecloth for all of them, so I'm probably going to use the toothpicks. I don't like to use toothpicks just because I feel like it still kind of comes apart the meat, but I'm going to have to use toothpicks to hold the rolls together. So let me just get started. I'll show you how to roll one, and we'll go from there. Move this down. You can see my cutting board. There you go. So I've got my flat meat right here, and I've pounded it out a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's what I did. I've got some thin sliced prosciutto, and I'm going to take a piece of that prosciutto and just lay it on top of my meat like so. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my stuffing, put that on top. However much, not a lot. These are kind of small rolls. And then I'm going to take a couple of these little, beautiful little mozzarella balls. See those? They're so good. It's just fresh mozzarella. I'm just going to put those right on top there, on top of the stuffing. You just kind of smush them on there. This might be a little bit too much stuffing. So, okay, and then I'm going to roll it kind of on a diagonal. Tuck your corners in. And roll it up tight. like so. See that? Now, like I said, I could take the toothpick, but let me show you how I did it with the, what is it called? The, this stuff right here. Here we go. Cheesecloth. There we go. So, I'm gonna put that right on there. I'm going to make sure that I have enough room on the end so I can tie a knot. And I'm just going to roll it up in the cheesecloth, just like that. Kind of tuck in the ends of the cheesecloth, those loose strings. Roll that like that. There we go. So that's done. And I'm just going to tie off this end here. One in there. I'm not real thrilled about this piece hanging here, so I think what I'm going to do is just tie it together like this. Hopefully you can see this. I'm using my webcam on my laptop to make these videos. And there we go. Okay, now I've got a scissors. Take scissors and cut off those ends. Like that. Okay, so we got another one ready to go. I'm going to finish rolling these and then I will show you what the next step is. Okay, I'm back and I've got all of my Braciole rolls wrapped up in the, I keep forgetting the name of this darn stuff, you know, what's it called? Oh well, never mind. Seemed to gone brain is dead. So, but I thought I'd show you the last one with the toothpick. So I've got my meat here and I pounded it out. A meat pounder is a very good tool to have in your kitchen. And I'm going to put the prosciutto on top. And a little bit of that stuffing. Kind of smash it on there. And I think this one is going to call for 3 little mozzarella balls. It's a little bigger piece of meat. And put that like that. And it's not really on a diagonal, but that's okay. We're just going to roll it up as best as we can. Tuck in your ends, especially if you're using a toothpick, because you really want to seal in that filling. It's not a lot of filling, but it packs a lot of flavor. So just keep rolling, 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 like that. And then I've got a toothpick here. Just gonna insert it in so that it goes through the top and into the middle of the meat. And I might just put another one right about here. There we go. And maybe one over here too. Probably overdoing it, but I'd rather they not fall apart. So, going through, kind of weave it in there, just like that. Okay, now they're ready for the frying pan. Okay, as you can see, the Braciole are browning up really nice in the frying pan. I used canola oil, about 2 tablespoons, to coat the bottom of a hot pan. And then I just put the Braciole in and I've just been turning them. And they're browning really nice even through the cheesecloth, as you can see. My hope is that the cheesecloth is not going to stick terribly to it when I unwrap them later on, after they're all done cooking and we're not eating a whole bunch of string. So, they're browned enough. I'm going to add about a cup of wine. And there. And this is Pinot Noir. I like cooking with Pinot Noir, especially when I'm cooking gravy, Italian spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to add about a cup of water, maybe the 2 cups. And I really like these Knorr home-style stocks. They come in chicken, vegetable, and beef. They're really convenient. when you need to use a chicken stock or a beef stock or a vegetable stock. You know, they're small, they have really good flavor, and you know, they're small, that you don't have to stock a whole bunch of cans or use the powdered bouillon or powdered chicken base. So you just pop it right in, and I'm going to let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to cover them and simmer them for about an hour. Ciao for now. Okay, I'm back. The braciole are simmering on the stove. I've got them simmering over a medium flame with the lid on, but I always leave the lid cracked a little bit, so you just position it so that the pan is not completely covered but left open a little bit. This allows some of the steam to escape, and for the liquid, the wine and the beef base that it's simmering in reduces down, because we're going to add that to our gravy, which is, remember, real Italians call spaghetti sauce gravy. We're going to add that to our gravy. So that's what I'm going to start preparing right now, and we're going to start with fresh herbs, basil and parsley, Italian parsley, flat leaf. And I wanted to show you just a little trick that you can do when you buy fresh herbs at the store. Now, I'm not sure if it works with all of them. It probably does, but for sure it works with basil. When you bring fresh basil home from the store, or if you pick it from your garden, make sure it's got some stems on it, and you just put it in water in a little jar, or whatever size jar for however much basil that you have, and you can just leave it on your windowsill. I cover mine with just a baggie, so it's like it's got its own little greenhouse. You can see it's kind of ripped right there, and I just put it over the basil like this, and you just set it on your windowsill and give it fresh water every now and then. And I was really surprised when I uncovered it just a little while ago to see that it's actually started rooting. I don't know if you could see that, but there are actual roots forming. So I imagine I can just go ahead and plant this again, or some of it, and start another basil plant. But for today, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to show you how to chop fresh herbs and how I make my tomato sauce, my gravy, my Italian gravy. So, I've already picked some basil leaves off, and when you need it, you just pick them off, you know, like so. I like a lot of fresh basil and fresh parsley in my gravy, Italian gravy. So you just pick them off and just cover it back up, and it'll just continue to produce new leaves. You can pinch it from the top or the leaves from the sides. It really doesn't matter. It'll grow. So got that there. And so now I'm going to take this off of me and again show you what I'm doing on my cutting board. So here we've got our fresh basil. And if you have big leaves, you can do what they call a chiffonade cut, which is, these aren't really that big, but when you get big leaves, you can just kind of pile them one on top of each other, and then you just roll them up like this, you know, like a little package. And then you just take your knife and you just cut small little slices. My knife needs sharpening, so, but anyway, you get the idea. It makes it easy. Or you can just put it all in a big pile like so. Keep your fingers out of the way and just chop away. So I usually go like that. Don't mimic my knife cutting skills. Just make sure your fingers are out of the way. I know that there's a certain way to hold a knife, a proper way. I think it's like this. I'm not sure, but this is the way I hold mine. And it works just fine for me. Okay, so I'm going to add my fresh basil to my pot of tomatoes. Now, I have in here 3 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. I used 1 crushed, 1 puree, and 1 whole. These are whole tomatoes, and I thought I had grabbed 2 whole and 1 puree, but I didn't. I grabbed 1 crushed, so that's okay. And so this is just how my mother did it. My hands are clean, so don't be offended, but she would just take the tomatoes whole like this, and then just crush them into the pot, just like so. I don't know. It's fun, and I don't know. It really lets you get your hands in your cooking. So my tomatoes are already all in there. I'm going to add my fresh chopped parsley. Let me wash my hands first. Okay. And another cool tip for when you are cutting anything on a cutting board is to put a damp towel, like so, underneath your cutting board on your work surface, and then your cutting board doesn't slide back and forth. So that's a good tip for you to have. So again, we've got some fresh parsley here, and I'm just going to break off the bigger stem, like that. It's okay to have some stems in there, it's no big deal. I used to peel each and every little leaf off the stem, and then I learned from watching cooking shows that, you know, it's really not necessary. So, little stems are okay. Alright. There we go. That looks like enough. I'm going to chop this up. Alright, big ones there still. There we go. Toss that in the pot. Okay, so in the pot we've got our 3 cans of, let's see if you can see me. Okay, I've got my 3 cans, 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. I'm going to put in a little crushed red pepper. Just not very much, just a little bit. I don't like it real spicy. My husband does, but he can always add more later if he wants. So I've got my fresh parsley and basil, and so then I'm just going to put in just a little bit of oregano, dried oregano, if I don't have fresh. So, I don't know, that's about a teaspoon. And then I add a few shakes of garlic powder. I also add grated Parmesan cheese, or Romano. I like Romano or the blend. It's called Parmano. So I put in a good 1/4 cup of grated cheese, fresh ground black peppers, nothing like fresh ground black pepper. So much better than already ground. And then I use fine sea salt in most of my cooking, or kosher salt. And I always have some ready in a little bowl just because it's easier. So I put in 2 good sprinkles, maybe 3 of salt, and then a little bit of sugar. Because if you're not using like San Marzano plum tomatoes, or which are naturally sweeter, or a good Italian tomato, and you're just buying, you know, whatever store-bought brand that you buy, just add a little bit of sugar along with that, and it just helps to brighten up your sauce. And it doesn't make it sweet, but it just enhances the flavor. And so, okay, what else do I need? I think that's it. Oh, I wanted to talk about this spice right here. This is Penze's frozen pizza seasoning. Really, it's just an Italian blend, and dried herbs are great. They add great flavor. You really should have a nice supply of different varieties of dried herbs in your pantry. But since we used fresh, I'm not going to use it today. But I do use Lori seasoning salt in just about everything that I cook. Also just adds that little extra flavor. Oh, and the most important thing is your fresh garlic. So, we'll talk about fresh garlic. The easiest way, and I'm going to zoom to my cutting board to show you this, to open and slice or cut garlic, work with garlic, is like this. So this one's already broken open, but really all I did was I took it, by the tail, I'm going to call it a tail, and I just mashed it down, and it kind of cracked it open so that I used a clove off of it already. And then it's easy to just take your cloves out. I'm probably going to use 3 for this, because I also added a little bit of that garlic powder. Trying to find 3 nice sized cloves. Okay, these are good right here. And then I'm going to peel it. Take the skin off. That's all 3. And it just peels right off. Or you can do it like that, which is probably what most people do. Or you can do it the way that most chefs do it, where you just take a knife, and that's just the parsley that's chopped on there, and you just hold the knife kind of like at the sharp side down at an angle, and you just hit it. And there you go. Skin comes right off. See that? And you just chop it up from there. Or another nice easy way to get your garlic chopped up or smashed is use one of these graters. This one is really sharp, and I love it for garlic, except when you're grating it, you have to watch out you don't cut your fingertips or your nails, for that matter. But it's easy, because you just grate the garlic piece right on top like that. And you can see it's nice and small. And then that last little piece that's left, you just kind of glide it along with your finger, throw it in there. So where's my other piece? Oh, there it is. And here we go again. It's fast, it's easy, just watch out for your fingertips. Yeah. There we go. Garlic's in there. Cheese, seasonings, we're good to go. I'm going to put this on top of the stove, bring it to a boil, and then simmer it really low with the cover on. Again, the cover will be, open just a little bit so that the steam can escape and the tomato sauce can cook down. Oh my gosh, I forgot the most important thing, the wine. You got to put wine in your sauce, right? Okay. So again, I'm going with an inexpensive Pinot Noir. I really like the flavor, especially in my gravy. I'll put a good cup of that in there. I'm going to stir this up, put it on the stove, and I'll see you back in a few. Welcome back. Well, our braciole has been cooking in the gravy, the Italian spaghetti sauce, for about 2 hours. If you'll remember, I had it browned it, and then I had it simmering in the beef stock with the wine and the water for about an hour. I got my sauce going, and then I took that sauce with the braciole, reduced down to about a half. So it was about 1.5 cups of liquid left, and it was just a beautiful color. And so I added that remaining liquid from the braciole pan and the braciole to the gravy, and it cooked for another 2 hours. Now I've removed the braciole from the gravy, and I'm unwrapping it, and I'm just so happy the way that they are unwrapping. It's almost easier than if I had used the kitchen twine or the kitchen string that you would normally use to tie meat with, because sometimes, you know, it's hard to get the scissors in there and cut it out, but they are unwrapping so beautifully. So let me show you how easy this is. And I'm really excited about this technique, using cheesecloth to stuff meat. So I can use this to stuff chicken breast, pound it out and make a stuffing and roll it up in there, and, you know, cook it like that without having to worry that it's going to unfold, or using toothpicks or using string. So I hope you catch on to this fabulous idea that I've discovered today. Anyway, I'm going to move this down so you can see how easy they are coming out of the cheesecloth and just how beautiful they look. They look like little sausages. As you can see, these are the ones I've already unwrapped. And now, here's a plate. It's kind of a messy job, but, you know, well worth it. Braciole is just a really nice change-up that you can serve with your spaghetti instead of, you know, meat sauce or meatballs or Italian sausage. This is just one more Italian dish that you can add to your repertoire. So look at how easy it just came right out of the cheesecloth, just like that. It's just beautiful. Beautiful little rolls of meat filled with deliciousness. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'll speed this up here. And then, okay, just make sure you get all the little pieces of string from the cheesecloth. There's a couple there. It's better than biting into a toothpick, I tell you that much. I've had that happen before. So I'm just cutting off those ends of the cheesecloth that I tied, just like that, and then just see, just falls right out of its little wrapping string. And let me cut one for you, just so you can take a sneak peek before we plate the dish. I'm going to get my water for my spaghetti going in a minute. And it's just like, oh, they're just so tender. Look at that. You can see the stuffing inside. Oh, I can't wait. I got to taste one right now. Got to taste one. I'm going to try this little end right here. Oh, really tender, really flavorful. I can't wait for my husband to try this new dish. Really good. I'm going to keep my braciole warm. I'm going to put some spaghetti sauce over. Spaghetti sauce. See, I even said it because I've gotten used to it. I've been away from Chicago too long. And away from home. My gravy, I'm going to put some of my gravy on top of the braciole. I'm going to cover them and just keep them warm until the spaghetti is done boiling, and then we will plate our braciole and spaghetti. Ciao for now. Caught me again. I'm getting ready to boil my pasta. But before I do, I wanted to share with you this great pasta that I found. It's called Anthony's pot-sized pasta. It's a full pound of pasta, but they're broken already in half for you, which is great. See? They're the perfect size to drop in really any size pot. You don't have to use a big pot to boil your pasta. You can use a smaller pot. Maybe you only want to cook a smaller portion. And so this is perfect. So I really like it. It's got great taste, and I love it that it's in pot size. Okay, welcome back. We're getting ready to eat. So I'm getting ready to plate the pasta. So let me, again, turn up the music. Okay, first I have to do that little dance. But you can't hear me over the music, so. Get that turned up. There we go. Goodbye, Patricio Butane, just for now. Okay. I learned something from Rachel Ray, actually, from watching her show, and how she adds the sauce to her pasta. So I faintly remember my mother doing the same thing, though I don't know if she used the starchy liquid from the pasta that, you know, the pasta. So Rachel Ray suggests to add either a little olive oil or a little butter. So this is unsalted butter, I don't know, about 2 tablespoons, to your drained spaghetti. And then the starchy liquid from boiling your pasta, you just save, you know, depending on how much pasta you're cooking, this is about 1/3 of a cup. So I'm going to add that to my pasta. And then I'm going to ladle in a few scoops of sauce. And I find my ladle. We'll just use this. Let me show you what I'm doing. So I have my pasta, my thin spaghetti in the pan, some butter and the starchy liquid. We're going to stir that up. And the starchy liquid just helps the sauce actually adhere to the pasta better. So that's what I'm doing. And I might as well use the bigger scoop. Yep. A couple of cups of sauce. Stir that up. That looks so good. Then, we get some tongs. I'm going to plate the pasta. Of course, we're going to clean off the plate. That there. Let me get the braciole out. And warming in the microwave. They're just staying warm in the microwave, covered. And we've got this beautiful. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little more sauce over the spaghetti first. Delicious. Can't wait. Braciole right on top. This is going to be my plate, so I'm just going to start with one. And then, of course, you have to have Parmesan cheese. And we'll put a little fresh flat leaf Italian parsley. And wipe off the plate. And there you have it. Spaghetti with braciole. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new and picked up a few good tips. So, ciao for now. Have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.